there guys, my name is Jay Audier, and have I got a Class 8 Empyrion Spotlight for you. So, what are we looking at that I present to your face balls right now? I am showing you the Earthshine by Pyston, or Pyston, or however you want to call him, but either way this guy is a artist. He seriously is. Now this ship is very heavily designed and developed on top of the looks of Star Trek and stuff like that. But it is very, very good. I am extremely jealous of this craft and how gorgeous and how it works, because it's 6.0 made. It's purely made for 6.0, which is amazing. So it encompasses the sensors, switches, oxygen pressurization and stuff like that into this, and it is just a phenomenal craft, and you'll see what I'm on about in a second before I just jank the mouse around and make you dizzy. So yeah, so on the outside of this craft we have a lot of weaponry. Now we have a lot of weaponry pointing in very much the correct sides, in my opinion. We've got some heavy hitters on the sides, which are the artillery cannons, and then we have some plasma cannons on the top, I think they are, and then we have the cockpit, which is sort of tucked away in there, which you can just see the windows for. And yeah, it's just an absolutely gorgeous design of a craft. It kind of reminds me kind of Star Trek, kind of Millennium Falcon sort of thing, just because of the little divots you've got in the actual vessel's hull. And it's just great. It has two hangars in it, so you've got one on the top and one below, and it can contain, I think it's like 2 or 3 small vessels and 2 hover vessels. So it's a pretty beastie thing, and you could put some fighters in this and some very, very cool looking other odds and ends. Now these side thrusters look really, really cool because he's used light and he's also used the colours of blocks very, very cleverly, in my opinion. And also we've got thrusters that are put in clever places, but also they're sort of like tucked away and you don't really notice those in there. Those are like the forwards and braking thrust, as well as side thrusts here, which have windows around them, which look really cool and looks like really cool framework. And I like little things like that. You know what I'm like by now. I like all these little details, little tubes and stuff, and yeah, it's just having this little prismy thing here with a light on top just makes it look even cooler. And I do seriously like this vessel. Now we're going to approach this from the top and work our way to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get it off the ground. I'm going to take you through, get to the cockpit, get it off the ground, and then we'll go through the rest, because I just want to get it off the floor, because I've kind of got it lying on the floor right now and I kind of don't think it deserves this. So yeah, now this is the first sort of hangar area, which I said 3, I mean 4. So it can contain 4 here. Now, as you notice, the thing's a bit funny, the sensor. If you jump, it kind of sets off, but if you jump, you can kind of get through the door. There we go. But that's meant to open with like vessels and stuff as well. So if you have a flying vessel, that should trigger it quite easily. And it is more for ship access than just personnel access. So we have that, and of course you can open and close it if you want. But of course you'll set it off with the sensors. And then if you noticed, as we walked in here, we actually had the lights come on. So all these lights and all the lights in most of the other rooms, bar I think it's the bedrooms, have like light switches that turn on when you need them, which is super, super efficient, because these ships, if I actually go into the stats of this craft, if we go into this, we have 32 hours and 45 minutes worth of power, of fuel on this thing. And we've currently got the primary thrust turned off and the max thrust and the gravity turned off. But if we were to turn everything on, then we would have a different thing altogether. Let's just turn them on. And then as you can see, that drops to 11 hours. So we still have quite a good supply of fuel, but it really does dramatically decrease. So little things like this, where we aren't using power in unnecessary spaces, is really, really good and useful. Now we have these containers on here, which he actually has like gone through and titled up. I wonder if they correspond with. No, okay. I was wondering whether they corresponded with the the stat sheet sort of thing, but it doesn't. But I like how he's numbered everything up, and everything's got its place here. You can really sense that it would be somewhere of just very organised chaos sort of stuff. So we have the engineering and we have the hover bay. Now the hover bay is where obviously the hover vessels are kept, and we can head down there. And on the other side we also have the same doors. So this is basically got the same thing but duplicated. So it's kind of like a bit of a duplication, which is good. We have the repair bay here, which is kind of smack bang in the middle of everything, which is good. So that means you can park your ships here, fix them, and then move them off and out the way. And there's just sugar tons of space in here. It's pretty insane, and I love how industrial it feels and spacious. It really does have an element of space, and also just this outlining of the doors with hazardous symbols and stuff just again adds to that feeling of being on a craft, and it's so cool. And to be able to use this ship in multiplayer would be so sweet, just to fly around with your mates with this thing and causing chaos to custom galaxies and stuff like that. So this is the engineering bay. Now in engineering we have a few things really. We have like a nice sort of sleeping quarters and whatever, and a nice window, nice seat here so you can watch what's going on. We have a lovely view to the rear thrusters, which is cool. And then we also have a nice and conveniently placed toilet and shower. Now I like how these are placed below, so you don't need a door. It's just privacy out of aspects of the angle, because if you were to have the shower on this block here, you'd sort of come around the corner as a visitor and be like, oh well, you're okay, but instead you walk and then you sort of, the shower's tucked back here, so it's like ultimate privacy really. And then you got toilet there as well, so that's just really cool. And I like how kitted out these things are, and you know, having the engineers bozzing around here and the fact that they can see what ships are out on the landing pad and stuff is quite cool as well. Now down here we have just a general board, and then we also have doors leading out into, oh my god, whoa. Okay, this is definitely the engineering bay, which obviously we can go in from the other side of there as well. We might head back that way to see if anything's different on the other side. But this is the warp drive. We are in the warp room, so this is where we'd warp a door out and just zippity bop and zappity boo bop and zim zam out places. And this is a really pretty room. I like how we've got this external access hatch here, which can take us out onto the roof, and it does say that you know, a suit is required before you go out there and stuff. And we got all these like warning things over the top. I never knew you could have these sort of things. I'm gonna have to look up what sort of stuff you can use in these text things, because that is really cool, unless it's a mod, I'm not sure. But that is really cool to have all these symbols in here, and I need to learn how to do them. So I wonder if I could just click on them. Is it just copied in text, or is it? Oh, okay. So we should be able to just copy. That's cool. Now I know that. That makes my builds 10 times better. So yeah, so we have this, and that obviously this elevator shaft goes right the way through the ship. So you can get pretty much anywhere from these elevator shafts that you see. They go like, some of them zip through the warp, the bridge and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I really do dig this room. I'm gonna do some investigative delving though. I like how he's used these blocks as like, I don't know, it look kind of like a heatsink for, you know, like, I don't know, it just looks really cool and sweet. Or it kind of looks like a ship passing through a ring. That's really cool. And then we have what's underneath. We have nothing. It's just all purely decorative under here, which is fine with me because it just looks so pretty. Anyway, what is through this door here? So this door takes us through to the fuel rooms. Hey, check this out. So we have fuel tanks here, which we can access quite easily, and they're all staggered in a way that you can sort of access them individually, which is good. So if you had a breakage, you could fix them. And we also have the reactors that are running straight the way down. Oh, we are actually in the wing cells here now. So this is actually the pass through, isn't it, on the wings? Yeah. So we're actually in the connection points to the other side, which is cool. And one thing that does worry me about these ships is that I'm guessing that there is an element of backup power on the actual disc, because on Star Trek and stuff like that, once you lose those side thrusters, they tend to have backup power. So you need it on this ship specially because of that issue. Because once those the bridging anchor things come off, once they break and you lose your thrust, you've lost all your power because the power is in those. So you really do need to have some sort of other power source, which I'm hoping he has on this. Now, coming on down here, we have all these rooms. Now, I'm not actually sure what are in these rooms. Oh, we got O2 storage, gravity, which is kind of cool. So this is where all the gravity is being generated from. Let's see if that's mirrored the other side. Oh no, we actually have a radar dish in this one. So rather than put 2 gravity generators down, which is what I've seen on other ships, which I kind of despise because you only need the one. He's just put the yeah, that's cool. I like that. So we got like a radar room and a gravity sort of generation room. And then going through here, we have the ammo for all the weaponry. None of them are full, obviously, because I haven't gone through and filled them. But you get the gist. And then opposite side, we have more ammo. So these are just quite barren, I'll be honest, ammo rooms. These would be good to maybe have some sort of lockers in for, you know, guns and stuff. Because you'd want to keep some of your special guns down here, like miniguns and anything that's like part of your serious arsenal. Grenade launchers and stuff like that. That'd be pretty cool. Because I know they're probably in the crew quarters somewhere, but I just prefer it, you know, elsewhere. So, where are we now? We are in the hover bay, I believe. I think we just kind of wandered into here because it kind of all leads us this way. So, are there any signs, any signposts? There are no signposts, and I really wish Empyrion would colour blocks correctly, unless that's chosen. I'm not sure. But yes, we have. If we pass on back through here, these are, by the looks of things, the hover places, which have opening doors, which allow us. He's actually generated some sort of like clampy looking things underneath. That's pretty cool. So this is where you'd have your ship, drop it down, boop, and that's nice. Then we got some more containers here for stuff. We have factory stuff over here. So we have the constructors. So we have the constructors, which is cool. And passing them back through here, we can sort of pass over. And not actually pass over, I'm not going to die, but we can actually pass into the sort of canteen area. So we've got a kitchen area here, and through this door we have a bit of a toilet, some what I'd guess are hand basins or urinals, I'm not sure. And we can push on through here where all the chairs are. I'm guessing this is another one. Yes, we've got the male and female toilets. Check us out. This is a really, really well thought out ship. And we pass back through, and we come back through here, and then we're back in the hover bays. So this is the secondary hover bay which we have on the craft, and it's just very, very nicely laid out and easy to get to grips with. Some of these ships are very impossible at times to understand and sort of get to grips with, manoeuvring around them and whatever. But this is pretty good. Right, so this is an elevator, and this elevator can take us 2 ways. It can take us up or down. We'll stay down for now, and we'll pass back through here, and then what we'll do is we will we've got another access hatch there to wherever we want to go, and we'll head kind of back on ourselves so we can get back to familiar territory, because even though I just said it's quite easy to navigate, I was kind of getting lost down there. So let's head on up, and that's the other bedroom, which I did say we'd look at, and there's no differences in these rooms. They're all exactly the same, but they don't need to be different. And then we're back in here, so we're back in the main hangar. Now we have a few ways to go. We have the main deck, the lavatory, which is always important. Again, a well thought out lavatory, because as a worker, you're going to want to come and get some oxygen, which is here, as well as go potentially for a shower and or the toilet. The only problem is here is if you had like 50 staff working on deck, that lavatory would be pretty minging by the end of it, but you know, a good shift would completely destroy them. But yeah, so less party talk, and just as okay, no, we weren't in the hover bays. Jesus. Okay, so we could potentially put more. This is the hover bay. I got that wrong. And we also have a farm back here, so we'll have a look in here first. So this is where the hover bays go, and I believe this is the central place. Look at all those just open up. It's glorious. It is glorious. I love the double shielding as well you've got with the that's really really cool. And then we have this nice little ramp here that enables us to get out. Now notice they're on like 2 different sensors, so if I were to back up out of the way, those go off and that shuts. So we have the first set on one which opens, and then the other one kind of closed on its own, which I'm not sure whether it should have done or whether it was. But either way, having that is just so cool, so we can get our hover vessels out quickly. And it does make sense now why the other room wouldn't be a place for hover vessels, just because of the fact that you'd have quite a big drop, which means you could probably put your fighters in there and then just deploy them quite nicely. So we had another room, didn't we, which was a farm room. So this thing is a fully self-sufficient craft that has its own farm, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plots, which is more than enough to cater for your food requirements for the crew. And it's a nice space. Again, we have like a nice plant there, we have another nice plant there, and it's just a generally nice place to be. And then passing through here, I like how he's also numbered the deck levels. It's not really helping me because I am a moron, but I could see it helping someone. And this is the lift that we could have taken. Now then, we head back to the main deck, which is here. That can take us to the hangar. That'll take us to the infirmary. We'll go in here first because infirmary. Whoa. Okay, this infirmary is very, very pretty. I struggle to make infirmaries and stuff in the med bays on the New Dawn look very, very iffy, and this looks very, very nice. I like the separation between I know you got like a separation of the wall there. It's quite tactical as well because you've got this defensive bit here. So if anyone is attacking, they'll be pew-pewing into the door and you'd be behind there, and you've got something to stop them directly coming through. It kind of obscures their vision from the doorways. And also explosions and whatever else, that helps. I like these little bays we've got here tucked up, and they've got like a little bed in, a little screen showing a map and all that other stuff. I like that, and as well as like the little receptionist desk. It's a shame that they don't do like a chair that sort of merges through blocks, so you can put the chair here and then maybe angle it at a 45. But you know, it is what it is. It's very pretty for what it is, and I really do like this paintwork where we've got these little accents of blue, and then he's also used these other blocks that sort of give off the look of light, and they add something. It's just really, really nice. So let us head through the infirmary into what looks like the cryo chamber. So we've got lots of cryostasis pods here, and we're actually on the outer ring now. If you notice, we are actually on the outer ring. So we're sort of on the big bit now. So this is very much designed like a Star Trek ship. It's very much, because they have like these big curved walkways and whatever else to wherever you want to go. Whoa, is this like the brothel? Is this where you come with the ladies? And what does this do? Oh my sweet nibbling Jesus, we have windows as well. What? Check that out. So we can totally close up them and open them when we want to. That is 6.0. It's completely blowing my brain. Some of these things that we couldn't do before and we can do now is absolutely cool. These are like these have got to be crew rooms because they're not very nice, to say the least. They're quite just toilet, shower, bed, desk. That's it. That's all you get. But then again, you're on a ship like this, so I'd just be happy with that. Again, very similar, but this one is kind of upgraded. We have a bit of a cryo chamber here. No windows, bearing in mind, so that's like more of a lounge room, that room we went into earlier. And we got another bedroom, again, very similar in design. They don't have too much in them. I'm guessing, yeah, it's mirrored, so that's a thing. And this one, I'm literally checking all of them because I want to make sure that I'm not going to miss anything. So I always miss something. And then here we go again, nice little lounge room. So these are cool. So these are like where your crew could come at sort of the end of a shift, open up the windows, stare into space, and just get drunk maybe. That would be me. I'd be the worst crew member ever. So let's head on up and let's go on to the bridge. This is the bridge. The bridge is very, very pretty and I like it a lot. It doesn't look like much from the outside, but it is very, very substantial internally. So what we have is like the command seat here, which I'll be honest, you get a really good view out of. Again, you don't really see the sides, you don't really need to on a ship this big, but what you do get is you get this lovely sort of, I don't know, what's that, 100 degrees, 100 degree arc, something like that of movement, so you can see what's going on. Actually no, I'd probably say it's about 80, something like that. So you get like this really nice view anyway, so you've got some idea of what's going on around you, which is good. And then we also have a nice little thing here saying that Pyston Works built it, which is great and it's beautiful. And then we just have some general operator seats here, as well as some weird looking caging just to add a nice effect to the overall ship. And then one thing that we have got back here that I really liked was we have these switches, and these switches allow us to turn things on and off. So like if I go H, no not H, if I go tab, like I was turning on the primary thrust and the max thrust, if I turn them on here, I'll also turn the gravity on, and we can then turn them back off and on from these things. So you can control things really well with having just switches like this. I know it sounds a bit mental or a bit crazy to have a room full of switches, but sometimes that's what you need rather than having to go into a menu. You just have somebody manually switching the thrusters on and off, or manually switching other things on and off, and it is just a good thing. And we've just pressurized the ship and it's used up 42% of the oxygen. So just to fill this up, it takes up half of its tanks. So you'd have to make sure that I've already got some more oxygen, so I can refill this quite easily. But yeah, you'd have to make sure that it's good enough. Now we've actually reviewed the whole ship, the whole internals of the ship. So we're going to fly this thing now. And it is a bit slow because obviously it is a class 8. So just give it, you know, just let it be what it is. It's a class 8 ship. It's absolutely phenomenal in its design. It's very responsive to movement. I'm just trying to get a really nice screeny here to sort of take a picture of, because I know a lot of you guys are really going to like this craft, and I know you guys are really going to want to play with this ship because it's just the general aesthetic, the design is just phenomenal, and it works as well, which is an even better thing. I'm going to back up a bit so I can get a bit more light on this situation, I think anyway. There we go. That'll do. That will do. So yeah, let's get flying this thing. So if I go back into this seat, as you can see, it's a bit dark, so I'm kind of struggling to see. But I'm going to face towards the sun, just so we can see. And you do get a really good viewing angle on everything. And we are kind of flying towards the sun, so it's kind of getting a bit bright. That's actually not a bad picture either. It does look really cool when this thing's flying off. And let's have a look at its stats while we're flying, shall we? So right now we're only using 26% of its power use, of its power, which is pretty good. However, we have 11.2. Yeah, we have 11 hours worth of fuel left by just having these on, and that's kind of, yeah, it is a bit power hungry when it's going out off a planet. So we'll see the change when we go out into the atmosphere, because obviously this thing will change as we exit and we'll start to use less power, which is cool. I'm getting more screenshots. If any of you guys want me to post any of these screenshots to Twitter, I will happily do it, because there's some really cool screenshots I've picked up on from doing these spotlights, and I figure I may as well share them with you guys, and you guys can maybe use them as wallpapers or something. So and here we go, we're out into space. We've made it. This ship has conquered everything it needs to as a space vessel, which is super cool. And it just flies. It's really responsive. And what are those stats like now? So flying around now in space, we have 22 well, 22 to 28 hours worth of fuel, and it's only 9% power usage, because obviously when you're on a planet, you've got the gravity of the planet that's pulling you down, and that means you're going to spend a lot more fuel. So yeah, it's a really, really responsive craft, actually. It's not that bad. I mean, that's like, I don't know, it's like 100 degrees arc of movement to turn it then, but I suppose if you turned up your DPI, you'd probably get a little bit more sensitivity out of it. But yeah, so that's really all I can really show you, because I've showed you everything. I feel like I have shown you everything, and I don't feel as if I've missed anything. But if I have, give me a shout, and I'll hopefully try and explain to you exactly what was in that space, if there was any space that I forgot. So I think without further ado, I just want to thank Pyston for building this, because it's such a phenomenal vessel, and you can see the amount of effort that has gone into building this. And I know with ships on Empyrion compared to other games, they take 10 times longer because painting takes a long time as well, and all that other stuff. But you can see the effort that's gone into something like this, and it is just phenomenal. And I love this community for how much effort goes into things, and you know, it's just great to see. And the builds have really been kicking up now 6.0's out, because a lot of people are really hyped for all these new features and switches and all gates and all that other stuff, and it's just really, really cool. So thank you to Pyston for building this. If you guys want to go and check this out and download it on the workshop, I'll leave a link in the description below. If you've enjoyed the video and you found it very informative, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't, you know where that button is. Comment for anything you want me to go and check out on the workshop or of your own. And I will see you guys later. Peace!